When news broke that the Indian football team would not be sent to the 2023 Asian Games due to them not meeting the criteria set by the Indian bodies themselves, that they were not a top ranked or top 8 ranked team in Asia, therefore they wouldn't be sent since the medal prospects were low, it's safe to say it sent football fans across the country into a little bit of an uproar. After all, if you are eligible to send a team, then why not send the team anyway? At the very least, you'd be able to get these players some exposure and make them play more. One of the things that a lot of people talk about when it comes to Indian football, and one that even the AFC, the Asian Football Confederation, and FIFA have told the AIFF, the All Indian Football Federation, is that your players need more game time, which is why in recent seasons you've seen an effort to increase the number of domestic fixtures, whether that be through elongating the league season or through adding more domestic cups to ensure that these clubs get more game time. That effort has been come into place, and yet you're not allowing a team which in recent times has been riding an essential wave of popularity to be part of the Asian Games, despite them being eligible to, because of a self-imposed criteria. It's not even a case of, let's say, the team are ineligible to play because they don't meet that ranking. No, it's self-imposed. It is a thing imposed by the Indian authorities that they don't want to send a team if they're not ranked within the top 8, and it's one that makes no sense. And naturally, a lot of football fans around the country have now been on social media trending the hashtag Indian football for Asian Games, and now the, let's say, reactions have gone to such a point that even the national team head coach Igor Stimac has taken to Twitter and written a rather heartfelt message. Now, of course, he put out this tweet, and along with it was a much lengthier message, but what it read was, "This is a humble appeal and a sincere request to the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and the Honorable Sports Minister Anurag Thakur to kindly allow our football team to participate in the Asian Games. We will fight for our nation's pride and the flag. Jai Hind." Now, this is just one part of the tweet. He posted a very, very long message, and in it he appeals saying that, Indian football has, of course, been investing a lot of money in infrastructure, in stadiums, in youth development ever since 2017. You've been seeing this happen a lot. Not allowing a youth team, an under 23 team, because remember, in the Asian Games you must send an under 23 team to go and play, would be the very antithesis of all that effort that you've been putting in. And it's not just Stimac. Stimac is just one voice. There have been many, many fans who have taken to social media in order to get this message out, which is why it's one of the top trends across social medias right now. This one fan says, and it's a very valid point, that teams like Bhutan, Bangladesh and Nepal will be featuring in the Asian Games, but our government has snatched the chance of the Indian football team to play there, along with the hashtag Indian football for Asian Games. Another fan points out that you cannot expect sports to grow in India if you don't let our sportspersons face the best of the best in the continent. Don't lock the blue tiger in the cage. It's another very prominent message where people are saying that, the Blue Tigers is, of course, the nickname of the Indian football team, and you should not be stopping them from playing just because of a self-imposed, let's say, criteria. Another fan says, and as I was pointing it out, that the rule of top 8 in Asia is a joke. How many countries in Asia play cricket? Football is played by every Asian country, so it's way more difficult to get into the top 8 rather than cricket. We should be sending the team for the Asian Games. Yet another fan said that Indian football fans were all upset with the Sports Ministry's decision to not allow our team to play in the Asian Games. We demand that the ministry reverse its decision. Let them play, let them grow. And that part is key. The only way you're going to be playing or improving your skills is by playing top opposition. One of the reasons people celebrated the SAF Cup victory as much as they did this time around was because India beat tougher teams like Lebanon and Kuwait, not just the usual SAF Cup fodder that India have been dominating for the best part of a decade. You were beating teams who were better, or at least in the same level and not lower than you. So therefore, in theory, you were able to improve. Another fan says, we want our glory back. How will our team improve if they play only home games? Let the boys perform, let them grow, let them row. We'll support our heart out. And this part is key, because if you remember, Indian football back in, let's say, early 1900s, 1940s, 50s, even 60s, was very much one of the behemoths of the game, at least in Asia. You'd remember that in the 1950 World Cup, India did in fact get invited to play, but they turned it down because at that point the World Cup didn't really mean what it does now. The Olympics with a bigger goal. And India have also been, as this fan points out, he says, we want our glory back. India have in fact been Asian Games champions, gold medalists. So truth be told, you can and should be sending a team to the Asian Games, and the only way you're getting that glory back we are competing in these tournaments in the first place. This other fan says that we can't expect our youngest to excel unless we give them a chance to face the best teams in Asia. Please help Indian football grow and reconsider your decision to not send our teams to the Asian Games. Again, very valid point. You cannot expect them to grow if you're not letting them play the best teams. And one of the best messages comes from this particular fan who says that it's not about medals, it's not about Indian football. We are eligible to play in the Asian Games and we must. And the line of the day where he says the government must send the Indian men and women's football teams to the Asian Games of 2023. And that's great. See, that's the thing. This Indian football team, again, we're talking about the senior team, has been doing rather well. It has piqued fan interest. But even beyond that, Indian football as a whole has been investing a lot into youth development. So to ensure that there is a talent pool for the future, to ensure that good coaching is done even at the younger levels. You've seen India push to get, continental and even FIFA tournaments played in India at age group level. All of this is to ensure that there is an impetus or a reason to ensure that youth development continues to happen. But how is that youth development going to bear any fruit if you don't allow the young boys to actually play in the Asian Games? So again, if I hope that the voice of the fans and all of us who are well-wishers of Indian football is heard, and that the Sports Ministry and of course the relevant authorities reverse their decision and actually send a team to the Asian Games, because again, it doesn't matter if they win a medal or not. Just being at that level or playing at that these games will be exposure enough, and if they manage to even get a medal, well, that's an added bonus, isn't it? You can let us know how you feel about this entire thing. Show us your support in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel and tap the bell icon if you haven't already. Also follow us across social media, and don't forget to download the AajTak app. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. But for now, from my side, it's goodbye.